All right, congratulations, you've made it to the last part, last section, last episode of this class on UX design and dark patterns. And I want to tie everything all together, talk a bit about why does this all matter. So the big thing is that user experience design is all about making something that is user friendly. And I think Justin Mifsud said this very correctly when he said, user experience design is a design process whose sole objective is to design a system that offers great experience to its users. Dark patterns are the opposite of that. They are the anti-UX. They are about creating a design that benefits the business over the user. And in the long term, those benefits are even not great to the business. There hasn't been a ton of research done on dark patterns, but the research that has been done has shown that they have very negative impacts on users in terms of retention, repeat business, customer loyalty, and trust, brand trust. And with that research that's out there, certainly more needs to be done, but we can say with confidence that while they might provide short-term wins, long-term, these patterns hurt businesses. They have these real-world impacts that are out there. There's also, of course, the ethical concern, right? If we know that these are patterns that are not ethical, it's up to us to make sure that we're not implementing them. The UXPA has a code of conduct that has a few different pieces to it. And dark patterns violate lots of these codes. The UXPA, by the way, the User Experience Professionals Association, is what I'm talking about here. Their code of conduct: act in the best interest of everyone, be honest with everyone, do no harm, and if possible, provide benefits, act with integrity, avoid conflicts of interest, respect privacy, confidentiality, and anonymity, and provide all the resultant data. So you can see dark patterns go against, at the very least, all but maybe the last two of these, which privacy, confidentiality, and anonymity could certainly be included in some of these dark pattern pieces, but resultant data not necessarily. But everything else, working in the best interest, being honest, doing no harm, acting with integrity. We as user experience professionals must act with integrity, because what we do helps guide our users to the decisions that they make. We have large impacts on the real world lives of thousands of people, in many cases, that we will never meet, depending on the size of the product that you're working on, possibly even millions of people that you might never meet. So how do we win? So what do we do if we're asked to implement a dark pattern? This is tricky because ethical stands can get you fired, so you need to tread carefully. A lot of times I've heard people say that they've run into if you don't do it, somebody else will. User experience is a very competitive industry, and there are a lot of people out there looking for a job in the UX world. There's this thought process that if I don't do this, if I'm asked to do this and I don't do it, they'll fire me and find somebody else out there that will. So look, the key here is to educate, right? To educate in terms of both the ethical side of things and the financial side of things. I do recommend that you listen to the podcast that Vitalik, Demin, and Pavel Samsonov and I were all on. I believe it was November. I think it was just last month. I'm sorry, it will be 2 months ago now because we're in January. But, talking about dark patterns. I'll put a link to that in the course description. I'm sorry, in the in the description of the class down below, video description. But Pavel makes some great points in there about why these are financially not a viable way forward. There's also the ethical pieces. We can talk about that, and hopefully this class has given you some of the firepower that you need to make ethical arguments against these dark patterns design. Be firm, use evidence and long-term vision. Point out how dark pattern design is really only for short-term benefit at most, and that long-term you're doing more harm to your brand than you are helping it. So what do we do if we see them online? The big thing is call them out. We want to make sure that we are calling out the companies that are doing this so that people know that they're doing it. At the very least, we can help other people avoid and spot and identify these dark patterns and hopefully not get caught up in them. And sometimes even this will affect change, especially if enough people complain about it. So the more we can call these out, the better off everyone is going to be. So again, shaming the creators, right? This is all about making sure that people who are doing these know that this isn't right and know that we are going to take our business and our dollars and our pounds and euros and lira and everything else elsewhere. So again, don't use the businesses that promote them. Absolutely. So if you've enjoyed this class, I want to thank everyone who's made it all the way through. You can feel free to donate to me at patreon.com/DougCollinsUX. Of course, like and subscribe to my videos and my my account here on YouTube. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at DougCollinsUX. Whoever you are, wherever you might be, thank you so much for watching today. Certainly hope you have yourself a great rest of your day and a wonderful user experience.